hope lives. And I can say that with absolute certainty because of what I just saw. A miracle. Nothing short of a miracle. I'm going to call it like it is. Today, I came home from the church. All the downtown businesses were told to close up early in downtown Fayetteville because there was going to be a protest and there's a large police presence. The National Guard was out. No one knew what was going to happen. And the last time we had things going on downtown was the looting and the rioting and all the fear. And so we came home and I just sat with my computer watching a live feed for 3 hours of a protest down near one of the colleges here in Fayetteville. There were a line of riot police, full riot gear, just stone-faced and standing there. And then 50 yards behind them was a line of bicycle police. And then 100, 200 yards behind them was the National Guard in army vehicles. And you've got this crowd of protesters that is growing and continuously growing. And no one is being violent, and they are making a point to make sure that everybody stays peaceful. But things were heated. Words were heated. Anger is being expressed and should be expressed. And this is what's happening. And I'm watching this for 3 hours, worried that this is going to reach this fever pitch, that there's something going to happen. And I'm hoping that it won't. And I'm praying that it won't. And I'm weeping while I'm watching. And I cannot turn away. And then, right as the curfew hits, because we have a curfew here, and I didn't know how are the police going to dissipate this crowd with the curfew. What's going to happen here? And the volume is getting loud. You can't hear anyone anymore. And all of a sudden, one of the protesters who had not emerged as a leader at any point in this entire 3 hours I've been watching this live feed, starts pushing the crowd back and telling them to get back. And he picks this tree that's on the side of the road. And he says, we have to get back behind this tree. And it's clear that not everybody knows what's going on. I certainly don't know. I can't hear over this. But somehow they do. And so eventually the entire crowd of protesters, hundreds of people, are stopped at this invisible line behind this tree. And then, 20 yards, maybe less, maybe 20 feet in front of them are the riot police still standing guard. And then out of nowhere, that sound of everybody talking and chanting and yelling and venting their anger and their frustration becomes silent as every single riot officer at once drops down and takes a knee towards those protesters. And then all at once, in silence, the entire crowd of protesters drops down and takes a knee in front of those riot officers. And then everyone stands up. And the protesters approach the officers, and the officers lower their batons, and they're giving each other fist bumps, and they're hugging each other. And what was once a moment of I don't even know what to call it. I mean, it looked like the pot was bubbling hard. Becomes this moment of hope and joy unlike anything I'd ever seen. One of the reporters who'd been covering this the whole time somehow tracked down the guy who was pushing everybody back, and they said, what just happened here? And through tears, this man says, well, me and that officer, we play ball together all the time. We're friends, and this is an African-American protester and a white officer in his full riot gear. He's like, we're brothers, we're friends, and we had an idea. And he's weeping while he's saying this because he's overwhelmed by what's going on too. And this needs to be shared. I don't know what's going to be reported on the news tomorrow, but I know what I'm going to share right now. I'm going to share that hope lives. Even in the midst of all that we're dealing with, even in the midst of a virus and unrest and anger and rage and all of these things. What I just saw today is proof 100% that hope is still present and that hope lives.